people, welcome to my channel, Tarot by Bronx. Hello, beautiful people, welcome to my channel, Tarot by Bronx. This is Tarot Talk, these are Tarot Things, and I'm your host, Boogie down Bronx, Boogie down Bronx.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to my channel, Tarot by Bronx. This is Tarot Talk. These are Tarot Things, and I'm your host, Boogie down Bronx, and I'm here to take care of the Leos. Leo, if you're new to the channel, welcome. This reading camera's in there for you. If you got Leo as a sun, moon, rising, Venus, north node, or south node sign. There was some hair on my phone. Very strange. Quick shout out to, let me see. Do I have anything to shout out today? My Patreon. On my Patreon, I am doing a Q&A. I do live streams on my Patreon from time to time, and I'm going to be doing a Q&A this week. So if you have any questions about anything you want answered, such as human design, tarot, astrology, spirituality, whatever, sign up for the Patreon and leave me a question, and I will be answering them live on Patreon. All right. So took out my braids, y'all. Took out my braids. My hair grew a lot. Some of y'all know I had cut my hair, but it's growing. It's banging. But yeah, so we're gonna get into it, Leos. Let's see what you need to hear. The harsh, blunt truth. When I flip over these cards, what is the blunt truth for Leo that they need to hear for the rest of July? Oh. You have ancestors displeased, and then you have separation. So I'm hearing two things. So your ancestors could be displeased because you are supposed to separate from somebody and you've been ignoring it, or they're displeased because you separated from somebody that you weren't supposed to. We're going to have to figure that out. Can we clarify separation? I'm not sure which one it is. What is separation here for with ancestors displeased for Leo? What is separation here for? You already know the answer. Stop asking. Oh, they're getting a little feisty. Why is ancestors displeased? Why is ancestors displeased here, please, Spirit? Oh. Why is ancestors displeased here? Self-love is top tier. Okay. And then we have belongs to the streets at the bottom. So I still don't really know yet. We're going to just leave that there, and maybe it'll start to make sense as I continue to get into the message, okay? So let's get into my everything deck and see what is it that the ancestors are displeased about right now, Spirit. Can we be more specific for why are the ancestors displeased with Leo placements at this time? What is it for Leos? Maybe some of you could feel bad about a separation, but self-love is the priority. What is ancestors displeased about for Leo? Guilt. Move on. Okay. It's kind of like a message you've had, I think, in the recent past. But, all right. Some of you do feel guilty for doing something, either rejecting somebody or something. And maybe it's just this feeling of guilt for choosing yourself, or for putting yourself first, or for letting go of somebody. And your ancestors may be disappointed in you because the only reason that you want to go back to a situation possibly is to ease your own guilt about it. Or the only reason that you're separating could be because of guilt. Something about guilt is really getting to you here. And so they're still not telling me. I still think this can be a tricky reading because it can go either way. It can be that guilt is making you leave a situation that you're supposed to be staying in, or it could be guilt is causing you to stay in a situation that you are supposed to leave, because you have moved on, and then you have this is the one meant to be. So it is going to take you using your own intuition and going within to figure out, okay, which scenario is more meant for me? Because it says you already know the answer. So I guess if we're looking at it from two different perspectives, if a situation is causing you to have so much distress, mentally, physically, causing you to feel like you are having a burden placed on you, causing you to put yourself last, or don't put yourself as a priority, and you're choosing to stay in it because you feel guilty. You may be a caregiver for this person, or something along those lines. Your ancestors are displeased because you are supposed to separate from it, right? So that could be the first scenario. Now, the other scenario could be you letting guilt of something, could be from your past, or some type of baggage, cause you to separate from somebody. And that's not necessarily the right move to separate from them, or you feel like you're supposed to be there, but for some reason you are still choosing to walk away. So yeah, it's going to be a little difficult. For some of you, it may not be, if you're like, oh yeah, I know which side of the scenario I'm leaning towards. But then you also have house or move. So some of you may be trying to move, or you do feel guilty for wanting to move out of a place or away from somebody. Anything else for Leos? What else do we have for Leo right now? Leo, crying or release. Not worth it. Okay. For some of you, the situation that you are choosing to stay in and just kind of endure pain or endure stress more than you need to is not worth it. It's not worth staying in the situation. It's worth getting that temporary, sadness, crying, the grieving process, and literally moving on from the situation. But some of you are somewhere that you are not supposed to be. And you already know this. It's just a matter of not wanting to admit that to yourself. And I feel like that's where a lot of you Leos are going to end up in this scenario here. And it's like you want somebody to tell you that this is where you're supposed to be, and this is what it is. You're supposed to be here. You're supposed to be with this person. And in your heart, this is not where you're supposed to be. For some of you. Or this is not who you're supposed to be with. Not where you're supposed to live, not the job you're supposed to be in, whatever. So what is the solution? I heard honesty in my head. Let's be honest, Leo. Let's be honest. Ask for help. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Oh, what is the solution for Leos at this time? What should Leos do? Job loss or decrease? Some of you are going to have to put your pride aside and make that move, make that change to do what is best for you. And that could mean, for some of you, walking away from a job. It's kind of similar to, I think this was like Gemini's reading, where I was telling them not to stay in a certain situation that is causing them a lot of distress. So you have asked for help. Some of you do need help with trying to get support for something or getting out of a situation. And this may result in you leaving a job, right? But not wanting to, but you feel it in your heart. For many of you, timing is right. It's meant for you to change. It's meant for a move. All right, some of you are just really holding on. Fixed signs have this really bad problem of holding on to things way longer than we should. That's Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, Taurus. We hold on. We ride till the wheels fall off and the car is breaking down and the engine is exploded and we got flat tires. That's how hard we ride for jobs and people and all types of things. We will really put ourselves through the ringer to show we're loyal, to be good people, to prove something. I don't know. We have stop searching for external answers. You already know the answer. You don't need to keep looking and asking and looking and asking and looking. The only thing you need to be asking for is a way out, or asking for help and how to fix your situation or how to navigate once you do decide to part ways with it, or what your next steps will be. It may spark some inspiration for you. Any other advice for Leos? You have relocation. Some of you need to change environments altogether, or you're not wanting to let go of the environment that you are in. Maybe you need to save some money, put some money aside for a rainy day. Right? Travel. You have travel, you have relocation. Some of you need to get out of your environment to really understand what's going on, or like you just don't feel right where you are, or who you're with, or who you're around, especially if you're like a reflector, even projector. Reflectors and projectors, you guys really need to be careful about being in the wrong environments around people that don't feel right to you. It will be to your demise. All right. So a lot of you are long overdue to separate from a certain job, separate from a certain person, living situation, but it could be pride is keeping you there, or trying to deny that the situation is as bad or is not going to change. But Spirit wants you to be very brutally honest with yourself and asking if it's worth it. And they're saying it's not worth it to stay. And this is a time where you can actually ask for help and try to find new resources to get you away from the situation. Talk to your Gemini friends. Y'all need to get out of it together, because I don't know if you're dealing with a Gemini or whatever. So there's some ties to the Gemini and Leo reading. It's very similar. So what do we have for Leos, coming towards Leos in relationships at this time? What is coming towards Leo in their relationships, friendships, connections right now? What is coming towards Leo right now for their friendships, relationships, connection? You have the Devil card. You have the Nine of Swords. I see some of you really stuck in regards to relationships, or some type of trauma bond you have with somebody, or it's feeling like you cannot leave a certain relationship, or you feel very tied emotionally to it. What else do we have for Leo? Clarify the Devil card in the... Could be something towards the mom, something with your mother. Clarify the Devil card. Five of Pentacles. Some of you are staying or keeping certain relationships around you because of comfort, because you don't want to deal with that feeling of abandonment. Rejection could be a Virgo. Could be a Virgo, a Sagittarius, a Taurus, Libra, or another Leo possibly, or a Capricorn. So you have Capricia. You got Capricorn. You have the Temperance in reverse, emotionally unstable or emotionally stressful for you. Could be the mother figure with the Empress. But trying to really hold it together and avoid needing to end this situation, or get rid of these connections. Five of Pentacles, not wanting to face the feeling of being alone for some of you, or that feeling of being isolated, because you have people around you, but all people are not good people, especially if there's not enough reciprocation, especially if the connection brings you anxiety and things like that. But I do see a very stressful situation with friends or somebody around you, where you're going to feel very claustrophobic, or you're going to feel very stuck with this person, and it feels like you can't get out of their grip, and a lot of guilt has been keeping you in the relationship for a very, very long time, preventing you from separating from the person, preventing you from being able to love yourself, because Leos are very, very loyal. Leos love to be there for other people. Leos have really big hearts, but ultimately that can be to your demise when you start to lose yourself, or you start to lose your money or your sanity even. So you have to be very careful with this codependent. When you put somebody else above you, it's not an equal relationship, partnership. So what else do we have for Leos as far as career and advice goes? What else do we have for Leo as far as career and advice goes? We have the Emperor. What else do we have for Leos as far as career and advice goes? Oh. What else do we have for Leo? We have the Two of Swords. I feel like you can really get unstuck out of a situation if you kind of bite the bullet and take control. What else do we have for Leos as far as career and advice? Seven of Swords or Seven of Wands. You might need some better boundaries. And then we have the Tower. Why is the Tower here for Leo? Leos, I know Leos honestly don't like conflict. Leos do not like conflict just as much as, Libras don't like conflict and controversy and to make people unhappy and to, it's for different reasons though. But Leo doesn't like that feeling of making somebody upset or mad. And you're going to have to, somebody's not going to like this response. And that's not your fault. That's none of your business. You can't control how people respond to you. You can't control how people feel about your boundaries. You can't try to negotiate your boundaries and get people to feel better about them. All you can do is set them and allow people to feel how they feel. Because once you set them and somebody's upset and then you start changing your boundaries, you are no longer being authentic to yourself. You are then yielding and bending to somebody else's whim. And that's what we need to end. And that's what needs to stop with the Tower. And that's what's going to get you to these feelings of very fulfilling relationships and reciprocity in your connections. But there is going to be some type of falling out or a disconnect in a relationship because somebody's been very much taking a lot out of you. Something is draining you. You got to put your foot down. You got to stand up for yourself, Leo. You have to take control. And if it makes you feel guilty, but that guilt can also be something inner child trauma where you're guilt and shamed for standing up for yourself, especially if you grew up in a very enmeshed household where it's very much like one band, one sound, where if you have any type of authentic or original ideas, it's looked at as like, oh, you're being disrespectful, you're being weird. So you have to be careful of that inner child trauma where somebody guilt trips you for having your own identity, your own mind, your own opinions, right? That happens a lot to Aquarius and Leo placements in the household because you guys are the odd ones out. And the family energetically picks up on it and then like isolates you and targets you because of that. But that needs to end. That has to end. And it's really going to open your eyes and like you will feel better. That guilt, it'll pass. Let it pass. Okay. It's not going to eat you alive. I promise it won't. Because Leos have this thing like sometimes it has like a savior complex like Virgo. But Leo's ego kind of wrapped up in it where it's like Virgo's ego can be wrapped up in it too. Whereas like the savior complex of I'm the only one that can help. I'm the only one that can be there for this person. No, you're not. No, you're not. You can refer people to therapists. You can give people resources to help themselves. You are not the only person in this world that needs to try to help somebody, okay? I thought I had my affirmation cards. I guess I don't. I left them. But yeah, so Leo, we need to do this, okay? We need to get out of this situation where we allow people to make us feel guilty and we stay and we stay and we help and we help and we help and we give. And then we have nothing and they have all of our stuff. Now, where are we now? Where do we go from here? Right? And so how long are you going to let this go on? You tell me. So that's what we have for you, Leo. Thank you for watching for July. If this reading resonated for you, let me know down in the comments down below. Like, comment, share, subscribe so the channel can thrive. I am at Tarot by Bronx on everything.